Canada unexpectedly shed more than 65,000 jobs in August, and our unemployment rate has jumped to 7.1%, the highest since 2016. Let's get more from Travis O'Rourke, president of the recruitment and human resources firm Hayes. Great to see you.
Cheers, Andrew. Good to see you.
I know it's just 1 month, but it's a pretty dismal read on the labor market.
It's a bad one. Look, it's going to be horrendous for almost anybody, unless you're looking for, you got a mortgage rate renewal coming up or you got a variable rate. And I think this was probably a good news report for you, but 7.1%, highest in a decade. I mean, it's tough to find good news outside of that.
Were there any, there was a lot of jobs lost in warehousing, a lot lost in manufacturing. You think they would be tariff vulnerable sectors?
Yeah, I think last month we lost 40,000, another horrendous one. But that hadn't even hit the tariff impact yet. That was mostly in construction, which we were frightened to see. But this month, most of the losses, 40,000 plus, are going to be tied to manufacturing, transportation, warehousing. It was not unexpected, and it was tied to kind of that deadline date that Trump had set.
And a lot of the jobs were in part-time, so I wonder where warehouses bringing in people just to get orders out.
That's exactly it. That's exactly. I got to say, there is good news here, and like 60,000 part-time jobs. If we have to lose anything, that's what we do want to lose. So we did see stability in private sector, and we saw stability in full-time work. So there are positives to take from this.
And you've been talking to employers. You did a survey in August, last month, and a lot were planning to increase headcounts. About half of them.
That's right. Listen, I'm often the doom and gloom guy on your show here, but I promise you, Hayes does a salary survey every year. This is about our 10th year now. And 49% of employers in August said that over the next 12 months, they plan to increase headcount. Now, that's a great contrast to only 6.7% who plan to decrease headcount. So although we're at 7.1 now, I feel that maybe we'll hit 7.2 next month, but I think we've probably peaked, and there's going to be good news in 2026.
It seems hard to believe, though, that half of employers say they plan to increase their headcount, given all the tariff uncertainty.
You know what? There's not that many trade-exposed sectors. I think we saw about 75% of companies don't actually plan to do anything as a result of tariffs. But there were so many hiring freezes going on over the last year. I think Brendan from Indeed spoke about it earlier. It's kind of just been the great stagnation where companies have kind of held still. And now that we're getting some interest rate relief, now that we've got some tariff kind of certainty, I think it's not that big a surprise to see companies about to take those projects back and try to move forward positively.
Talk to us about AI. It's an unknown risk right now.
It is. And anytime you see job losses, I think we saw 20,000 hit that scientific or technical area. People start thinking, is this AI wiping out jobs? Now, it's not wiping them out, but it's absolutely having an impact. We asked employers in this Hayes survey, when somebody leaves your organization, do you replace the role with AI? Do you replace the role with another human? Mm-hmm. And for the first time, we've seen almost 7% of employers say they immediately look to replace the job with AI. And that's a scary fact.
We had the boss of Salesforce, the software for managing customer relations, and he claimed a while ago, I fired 4,000 people because of AI. Now, that may have been showboating, I'm not sure.
Well, he did, but then earlier this week, you saw Salesforce stock didn't perform overly well because of their agentic AI sales effort that they thought would be a bigger uptick. And what we're seeing right now is the technology is outpacing employers' ability to make that change, and it's outpacing the skills of the employees to actually implement that change. Mm-hmm. So the tech is there, but we're not seeing that adoption, and that's what hit Salesforce this week.
Just talk to us about return to office, because there's a suggestion I've seen, one commentator saying that now employers have the whip hand with a weakening labor market. They're in a better position to tell workers, yeah, I want you physically back in the office.
I think, yes, they do. Anytime it's employers' market, employees are, probably susceptible to things they weren't necessarily signing up for initially. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a lot of companies who are 2 days move to 3 days move to 4 or 5. And when we saw the provincial and federal governments start to make those moves, that provides a lot of air cover for the private sector to say, okay, we're going to do it as well.
I know this is an impossibly broad question, but can you generalize? Is it better for productivity to have people physically in the office?
You know, that's really going to depend on the sector, the role, the function within the business that you're in. I think you would be hard-pressed if you asked 100 executives to find 75 who weren't going to say yes, productivity improves. I mean, there's a lot of data that exists out there. If you look at what happens on a Monday morning or a Friday afternoon from a remote worker, they're kind of working a 4-day week. So getting people in the office, having eyes on them, does it improve productivity? I don't know. But an executive can find a statistic to back up whatever they want.
Yeah, it's very hard to prove, yeah. I mean, personally, I'd prefer to be in the office. I didn't like remote work. I found it lonely.
Yeah, I like to be in the office too. I like the energy when you get out of the car and you go to Tim Hortons and get a coffee. I like to walk around the office and ask a question instead of sending a Teams message. But, you know, to each their own. Some people do work better in that perfectly silent environment at home.
Thanks very much.
My pleasure.
Travis O'Rourke, president of Hayes.